Hi there and good morning and welcome to Cooking Uncovered. My name is Miriam and today I am going to be making some cinnamon biscuits, and these are the biscuits that I'm going to be making on Christmas morning. And I'm going to do all the prep ahead of time, all the dry ingredients ahead of time. I have my filling already made, ready to go. I'm just going to actually pop it in the microwave for a few seconds, just to, seriously, 10 seconds, just to kind of melt it a touch, make it really, really soft. And then Christmas morning, it's going to be so easy. That's my sweet dish for Christmas morning. And my savory dish is my egg frittata, my easy egg frittata, which I just put on YouTube. And but these biscuits are actually quite famous because back in the day when I was in the business and I had a store on Denman and Davie, these cinnamon biscuits really were very, very popular. And I actually got the recipe from my grade 8 home ec cookbook, believe it or not. These are just a biscuit dough, and I've put this beautiful filling on top of. You roll it up, and it's a cinnamon biscuit, but it looks like a cinnamon bun, but it tastes like a biscuit. It's just absolutely delicious. So I want to give a shout out to my girlfriends Joanne and Linda, who right now are on the East Coast of the States. My girlfriend Joanne lives there now with her wonderful husband Tony, and Linda from North Vancouver is flying out there to join them for Christmas. So I'm making this recipe for them because back in the day when I was in the business, they were instrumental in helping me at all hours of the day and night, baking and deliveries and scooping ice cream and fabric finding for the benches in the restaurant. And I just want to say Merry Christmas to Joanne and Linda, and this biscuit recipe is for you, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have fun together. I wish I was there. So in the bowl, in the mixer, and you can do this by hand as well, is half a cup of butter, 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Just ignore the phone. It always rings. It's always ringing. 2 tablespoons of sugar, and a little bit of salt, so about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that I'm mixing until it's just a mealy mixture, which of course is just, you want it just so that it's flaky and the butter is reduced to about a pea size. So to that, we're going to add approximately half a cup of water. So I'm going to add, and the water should be warm. So, and I'm going to just monitor this because I want it to come into a dough shape, and that's pretty good. So about maybe another drop more. And I only want to mix this in the mixer until it just comes together. You don't have to knead this, you don't have to work it. It's actually fairly simple. So once you hear kind of that sound on your mixer, you know it's done. So the dough looks like, and it's very soft. And at work with the students at my school, I teach chef training and culinary arts in the home ec department. Yay, home ec teachers. Love our home ec teachers. I have double acting baking powder at school, and I've actually never been able to find it. And this time I found double acting baking powder, which gives you an advantage because it gives you one time on the board to act once, and then again in the oven, and it just makes the most beautiful dough. It's all light and fluffy. So with a floured surface, I'm just going to move my mixer. Floured surface, again, I've said this probably a couple of times. I'm going to start with a rectangle shape, a shape of a rectangle, not round, because that's the way I want to end up. So I'm just going to flour this and I'm going to roll this out in the shape of a rectangle. So I want it to be about as wide as my rolling pin, so that wide, and about as wide as my cutting board and as high as my rolling pin. How does that work? So now I'm going to put my filling, which we'll talk about in a second, just in the microwave for 10 seconds. I don't want it to melt, I just want it to soften. It's just a lot easier to spread. So I find also if I keep the flour on top of this dough, it doesn't stick to my rolling pin. So, all right, can you see that? I've got my dough the full shape of my cutting board, and that's perfect. And the filling, which I'll tell you what that is in 2 seconds. Now it's just nice and soft, so the filling goes onto the top here. So how do you make this filling ahead of time? You put in your blender or by hand 1 cup of butter, 4 cups of brown sugar, and 1/4 cup of cinnamon, or a little bit more if you want to. So the reason that I do it this way, it's just so easy to spread. Now, of course, you could use just softened butter and sugar and cinnamon, but this is just kind of a nice way of doing it because it makes it so much more convenient. So you want all your edges covered with your butter, your cinnamon, and your sugar mixture. So I'm probably using about 1.5 cups on the top here. And what I do with the excess, I just leave it in a container in the fridge, and when I know I'm going to be making cinnamon biscuits, then I just bring it out of the fridge and let it warm up and then pop it in the microwave for 10 seconds. So now I want to roll this up towards me like a jelly roll. Can you see that? Roll it up. And what I want is all of this to be the same size. So manipulate it so that it's all, and just run your hand along. If you feel a little thicker part, make it all the same size. All right, so with your handy dandy metal scraper, which you can get at any restaurant supply, I love these things. They're just so wonderful. I'm going to score first to see if that's exactly half, and it is. Now I'm going to cut. And what I want out of this, I'm going to get 6 cinnamon biscuits out of this piece. So I'm going to score to see if, first of all, because I do want them all the same size. It's not nice when people are sitting there thinking, why didn't I get that bigger piece? So these are perfect, so I'm just going to cut into 6 now, all equal pieces. Bring over my muffin tin. Give it a quick spray with your non-stick spray. And pop those little biscuits in to your baking tin. So of course, if you want more than 6 biscuits, double the recipe. It doubles very well. So a little trick at the very end is to just open up those biscuits so they kind of look like a flower. And then you pop them in the oven, 375, for approximately 15 minutes. You've got to watch them. And when they come out of the oven, you glaze them with icing sugar and water. It's very simple. And these, my friends, are to die for. So I'm going to pop these in the oven, and I will take a picture of them after they are done for Joanne and Linda and for everybody else who's watching for a very easy Christmas morning, lovely sweet dish. I was going to say wife saver, but it's not. It's not a wife saver. It's a family saver because they're so delicious. And thanks to Joanne and Linda, and I hope you both have a great time. I love you both, and have a great Christmas. Talk to you later. Bye.